This is Hugh Lee, aka the Hugh Lee Ghost, and this is 24/7 HH King Bars. Run up on the block with the mask on. Rep the block that tech the Glock. It's no technological advances. Shot your shot, ain't no second chances. Parking lot to them school dances. Talent shows and open mics to stolen cars from stolen bikes. You grew up quick in a city strife. Who you the judge? I ain't on trial, at least not yet. You worry about a vet. I'm looking for a stain so I can hit a lick. Cause I don't know where food gon' come from next. You don't know my pain. You don't know my crew. You don't know my life, what I've been through. You don't know Starbucks to that woo woo woo. I don't know Starbucks to that Whole Foods. A few that stand out to me. One is the part where I say, parking lots, them school dances, talent shows and open mics to stolen cars from stolen bikes. You grew up quick in a city strife. That's probably one of my favorites of that verses because it's like, that's really what it was. We were little kids, like stealing bikes that were just laying around. And then as you grow up, you see niggas like stealing cars, riding around in the same stolen car for like 2-3 years at a time. And it's like, not necessarily because it's fun or something like that. It's just the conditions that we were brought up in just made us it just made us behave that way. We just didn't know any better. It was just ignorant thoughts at that time. That sort of thing, like, I wanted to express really, really deeply. Another bar that I really liked was, who you the judge? I ain't on trial, at least not yet. You worry about a vet. I'm looking for a stain so I can hit a lick because I don't know where food gonna come from next. And that one's like really deep for me because it was like the upper people, the upper class people, I could say white people, but just the upper class people in general, even people from the burbs, like they was worried about their dogs, football and yoga and all that other shit. And I couldn't play football or basketball. We didn't have the money, so I couldn't play that. I didn't have food in the fridge. Like you look at my fridge, wasn't even no ice trays or no baking soda in there. So we did what we had to do, but it was all out of necessity. Like we was doing what we was doing to survive. Like I didn't give a fuck about being hype or rowdy and none of that. We was trying to eat. We was trying to live. And so that kind of stuck out to me as well. And then like that last bar after that where it's like, you don't know Starbucks or that woo woo woo. I don't know Starbucks or that Whole Foods. And that kind of sets the setting of Chicago as a whole because it's an incredibly segregated city. Like Chicago's so segregated that it's actually scary. And when you think about stuff like that, you don't see no Starbucks in the hood. And you don't see people all the way in Lincoln Park, Lakeview, etc., talking about loud for the Starbucks. You don't hear that like you hear at the bus stops in Austin, where I'm from. That sort of thing. I wanted to use this title track to set the whole tone of the city itself, specifically when I was in high school. This all facts, no gonzo. Grew up seeing clucks off Blanco. Off the White Horse, no Bronco. I used to want to live like Mondo. I remember we ain't even have a lawn though. Had to deal with the snakes in my lawn though. Had the 9 on my back like Rondo. Westside Shot Town head honcho. I'm the man with the fade, no taper. Hugh God, I ain't worried about a hater. Blue blood in the cut, no shape up. I'm a protractor for the paper. Turn him to a stencil, no Laker. I'll talk about it later. Assalamu nah, just lake him. Yeah, just throw him in the lake, bruh. Well, the name of this track is Factitious. I made this song thinking about my time in high school, just when everything was crazy. It was when like Sosa first dropped, when he first blew up. That was also a time when it was just hella violent. And so it was a time where you go outside and you didn't know if you or your homies was making it back that night. And so it was a mentality that we had. And it was like, it was dangerous, but it was fun as fuck. And it was all just getting hype and shit. So this song kind of put me back into that. And I didn't want it to seem like we were just doing shit just because, but I wanted someone from the outside of our culture to listen to this song and understand where we were coming from. It's like some of the bars kind of explain that. And I like the way it came off. Well, I heard this beat and I was like, it was one of those few beats where I heard it and I was like, ooh. I was like, I need that. And I didn't know what I was gonna do to the record. And so I booked me a session down at VSOP with Matt Hennessy. He's dope as hell. I think he's a trustee of the Grammys right now, or at least the Chicago chapter. And we're in the session and it's me and like 20 niggas. And we just in there and we got the Henny and the OJ and we just sitting there like, all right, how I wanna do this. And I just hopped in the booth and I just like let it all flow out. Like I didn't even write that song. It just came out. Like I was just flowing and I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah. And as I'm going, I'm like, damn, I'm damn near hard as fuck with this shit. Like I don't even need a pen. So I just kind of like punched in until I like got the verse exactly how I wanted. And I was like, yeah, that's it right there. And then I threw my cousin on the verse with me because he from out west, he from K-Town, which only a few blocks away from Austin. So he understand what it's like too. And then we just was feeding off of each other as you're hearing like the second verse or whatever. Like towards the end, he just stops rapping and then I just come back in and I'm just spitting to him. We just going back and forth for a little bit. And that was really how that record came. We just sipping Henny in the studio, heard the beat and spit it because it was real. quick shout out to my cousin Leo West, you know, somewhere in the west side, and Perfect Beats, who is amazing, you know, underrated but dope as fuck, who produced like 3 or 4 records on this mixtape. Just phenomenal producer, like really underrated, but yeah, fucking phenomenal. Because I don't really write anymore. Everything just comes, like I go in, I'll have a melody that I'll have and I'll do it in my voice memo, and I'll just have like either a flow or a melody, and then when I get to the studio, the words that come are just the words that come. And when I get to the studio, the booth has to be pitch black. Like I don't want to see shit. I don't even want to see the buttons in the room, the control room. Like I just need it pitch black, and I'm in there. That kind of gives me the comfort level that I need, because I don't really like the light that much. Like even when I'm just like in my little dark, depressive moods, I just stay in complete darkness. And so those are things that are essential. Just put me in the dark, put the beat on, and I'll take care of it for you. Well, I always knew that what I said had meaning and impact. I always knew that there was something bigger. It's just I couldn't necessarily act on it, because things like that is perceived as weak, or at least where I'm from. Like that shit was weak. So it was like I was doing things on the low. Like a lot of people don't even know, well, at least nobody from my hood know to this day. They probably gonna know after this, but like I went to nationals in academic decathlon, but I kept that shit on the low because I know how that shit look in the hood. And we used to beat up the niggas on my team. Like it was really kind of fucked up. Like we beating these niggas up, and then the next day I'm in practice with them, like ready to go to state and final and nationals and shit. And it was like, but I understood that I couldn't actually like put that out there because of how it would make me look, and it was seen as weakness. And I'm already light-skinned and skinny, so I couldn't have that. It was a survival type thing. Like I had to just bury it until I had a platform to like, or at least a different environment where I could actually express it. And that was just how it was back then. As pointless as it may seem, as hopeless as it may seem, there's always something different. You just got to change the way you look at the world. And I understand that that's a very easy thing to say and a harder thing to do, but stop hanging with them same niggas. Even if you hang with niggas from a different hood, like you'll still see a different perspective. Like you can still hang with hood niggas, hang with the hood niggas in college, hang with the hood niggas down at the Democratic Center or the Republican Center, whatever you feeling, but like get out of that same hood mentality. Cause to this day, I know a few hood niggas who like little kids, like teenagers and shit, who never even been downtown before. So how they you only gonna see things differently if you see real life differently. Because if you're seeing the same thing day in and day out, ain't nothing gonna change. So I say get out of that box that you in, go do something different, anything, and try to get a different perspective on life, because it's more out here than what we seeing. Next up is a tour. Right now I'm on my way to Europe for the European leg of this Things Fall Apart tour. I'm super excited for it. Cabrini is out now, so you can stream that everywhere. Apple Music, Tidal, Your Grandma's House, Dat Piff, My Mixtapes, Cousin Ray Ray and them got it on bootleg down by the Western Union. You know the DVD man pushing it as well. And we got the short film for my project coming out this summer, so I hope you guys love that. And of course, catch me in Shameless, catch me everywhere. Hugh Lee, Libras Never Lie, at Who Is Hugh Lee. So I named the project Cabrini specifically after the Cabrini greenhouses, the Horner House to be exact, the red and white buildings. If you know, you know. If you don't, you better get in tune. It was just it was the thing that set the whole city on fire. I think them tearing those down pushed everyone out, and everybody just went to different parts of the city, and then everyone's battling for different parts, like territory in different parts of the city. And it's what made our city so crazy, because at one point it was just all centralized there. We had our own kind of government in a sense. The gangs kind of ran it. Police weren't allowed in, et cetera, et cetera. And once they tore those down, it just created a whole breeding ground for it to disperse through the whole city of Chicago. It kind of destroyed the red lines or red codes, whatever you want to call them in a sense, but it made them stronger as well. And it gentrified downtown, which was the plan to begin with. And so Cabrini was kind of that catalyst for everything that happened in our city. Me naming it that was just making sure that it was understood, because I know that many people from the outside of our city don't care or just haven't had the information given to them. So me being the voice of the West Side, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm just grateful that I get to do what I do, get to speak my truth all the time, and that people really rock with it. I had these sold out dates. Thankfully, I sold out my city twice on this tour. I'm glad everybody's rocking with it. Of course, 2 times Grammy and 2-time Emmy nominated, 2 times of both. I'm just thankful that people would let me do my thing, you know what I'm saying? It would be nice to get it from my own work. Hopefully this Cabrini project goes gold. I'm trying to get a gold plaque off of the mixtape, which would be unheard of. I already got to pack out House of Blues as an independent artist, and Chop Shop just sold out. and first rapper to headline Cubby Bear in years. That all that stuff just kind of built to my reputation to being a staple in this city. And truth be told, I just want to be one of the greats in this city. I'm trying to get up there with Chance and Kanye and Common.